Welcome to another deep dive. We usually cover historical battles and wars,
Yeah.
but this one's going to be a little different. It's actually a deep dive into horror.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds really cool. I love a good horror story.
Me too. So today we're going to be talking about a novella called Pasted Text. And
Pasted text.
it's a fascinating blend of cosmic horror with, the very real societal injustices of the 1920s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's set in Harlem.
Okay.
Yeah, 1920s Harlem.
So we're talking like the Harlem Renaissance era.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got this booming cultural scene, jazz music is everywhere.
Right.
But you've also got this darker undercurrent of poverty and racism.
I see.
And the novella really doesn't shy away from that.
That's interesting.
So our main character is this guy, Charles Thomas Tester.
Okay.
He's a street musician trying to make ends meet, gig to gig.
Right.
And he's also taking care of his sick father.
Ah.
Yeah, it's tough. Tester's really desperate.
It sounds like it.
And that desperation kind of leads him down this really dark path.
I can only imagine.
So it all starts with this seemingly simple delivery job.
Okay.
He has to take this occult book to a woman named Ma At.
Interesting.
Yeah, and this book, it's not just any book.
Uh-huh.
It's filled with, forbidden knowledge, rituals, the kind of stuff that really shouldn't be messed with.
Okay, I'm starting to see where the horror comes in.
Right. And this is where we get introduced to the world of the occult, like hidden knowledge and practices dealing with the supernatural.
Right, right.
So through this delivery, Tester meets Robert Sedum,
Okay.
this wealthy, eccentric, kind of creepy occultist.
Mm.
Yeah, and Sedum, he's not just some harmless weirdo. He's got this, allure of power and wealth.
Okay.
Yeah, and he sees Tester's desperation.
Right.
He sees how the system is stacked against him, how racism is holding him back, and he preys on that,
Wow.
offering him a way out through forbidden knowledge.
I see. So it's like he's offering a shortcut to success, but at a cost.
Exactly. And that cost, it's pretty steep.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, this is where the novella really dives into the Lovecraftian themes,
Yeah.
like forbidden knowledge, cosmic dread, the idea that there are forces out there beyond our understanding.
Right.
But it also adds this layer of social commentary.
Ew, how so?
Well, you see, Tester isn't just some random dude who stumbles into the occult.
Okay.
He's a black man in 1920s America.
Right.
So he's dealing with systemic racism, poverty, constant suspicion, just because of the color of his skin.
And that's where Sudam comes in.
Exactly. Sudam's offer of power becomes even more tempting in that context.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's not just about wealth, it's about agency. It's about taking control in a world that's constantly trying to control him.
Wow, that's really insightful.
And we see this really clearly in his interactions with Detective Thomas Malone.
Who's that?
He's this detective who's constantly suspicious of Tester,
Oh, I see.
just because he's black.
Yeah. Okay.
Malone represents, the limitations imposed on Tester by society.
Yeah.
He's constantly being watched, judged, and held back.
Right, so Sudam's offer is almost like a rebellion against that.
Exactly.
Mm.
But here's the thing. Sodam's promises, they don't exactly pan out the way Tester expects.
Oh, no.
His rituals, they backfire.
Okay.
They unleash these terrifying, unspeakable horrors into Harlem.
Uh-oh, this is getting really scary.
Oh, yeah, it gets pretty intense. And it's here, in the face of these horrors, that Tester makes a choice.
What does he do?
He embraces the dark powers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he transforms into Black Tom, this monstrous entity fueled by rage and the desire for vengeance.
So he becomes the very thing he was fighting against.
It's complicated, right?
Yeah.
On one hand, he's a monster.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he's using that monstrous power against the society that oppressed him.
Right.
And this is where the novella really gets thought-provoking.
I could see that.
It's not just about good versus evil. It's about the moral gray areas, the blurred lines between victim and monster.
It makes you question who the real monster is, doesn't it?
Exactly. Is it Tester? Or is it the society that created him, that pushed him to this point?
That's a really powerful question.
And it's what makes Pasted Text so much more than just a scary story.
Yeah.
It's a critique of societal injustice, a look at the consequences of prejudice, and the choices people make when they're backed into a corner.
It's almost like a dark reflection of the Harlem Renaissance itself.
Right. You have this explosion of art and culture, but underneath it all, there's this deep-seated pain.
Yeah, and Pasted Text brings that pain to the surface.
In a very visceral, horrifying way.
It's like it's reimagining Lovecraftian horror through a lens of social commentary.
Exactly. And I think that's what's so brilliant about it.
Mm-hmm.
It takes these themes of cosmic dread and fear of the unknown and grounds them in the very real horrors of racism and inequality.
It makes you think, could Tester have found another way?
Right. If he hadn't faced all this prejudice, would he have ever become Black Tom?
Would he have even needed to?
That's a question that really stayed with me.
Me too.
And I think it's something for all of us to consider, you know?
Yeah.
How does injustice shape us? And what choices do we make when we feel like we have no other options?
Heavy stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But it's important.
It is.
And it's what makes Paste and Text such a powerful read.
If you're looking for a horror story that's more than just jump scares, if you want something that will make you think about the world we live in and the choices we make,
Definitely check it out.
I know I will.
Yeah, it's a story that will stay with you long after you finish the last page.
For sure.
Thanks for joining me for this deep dive.
This was great.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.